Pillars of Eternity continues. Welcome back, everyone. We're in Admeth's Den. Just got done in the last video helping Osric get his breastplate back from those dirty scoundrel Knights of the Crucible who are rotten bastards and not the cool kind like me. So, yeah, we had to put little penny pen in the grave. Check out this hat. It's called the Dandy Hat of the Diseased Yak. The legend behind this hat is that once it belonged to a famed prince of a small kingdom that was conquered and absorbed into the Adirian Empire. The prince and his court were known for their outlandish dress, but not, unfortunately, for prowess in battle. In fact, when the prince learned that the Adirian army was marching toward him, he threw a fabulous party to welcome the invaders. This hat survived the war and subsequent occupation, and has been traded in many a dark corner by those wishing to further their social standing with panache. Lined with garish purple silk and adorned with a large chartreuse feather, the hat makes a strong if questionable fashion statement. +2 resolve, -1 intellect. Snurf's Folly, +1 resolve, +2 constitution. Once belonging to a wife of noted animancer known as Snurf. Snurf. Not Snarf, but Snurf. These white gold wedding ring is set with a central pink stone flanked by 2 small diamonds. The shine of the gem stands in stark contrast to the grimy, worn band. It is rumored that while his love was ill and on the brink of death, the desperate animancer performed a radical experiment to merge her soul with his. According to most versions of the tale, her already weakened body was unable to withstand the strain of the binding. While this process extinguished the little life left in her body, it overwhelmed her soul, fragmenting it into oblivion. Overcome with guilt and despair, the once great man lived out the last of his days in his theft-induced madness, holding on to hope that he might somehow glimpse traces of her soul amongst his own pitiful reflection. Well, that could be a good ring for Eder. Bile Stompers grants miter-feated Caress, 3 per rest, +5 damage reduction. These boots were created in a small village in the Living Lands that is bordered by a toxic swamp and frequently overrun by venomous weeds. Though the hard soles have withstood years of use, the edges of the leather show signs of corrosion. It's believed that some of the venom has seeped into the boots. Cloak of the Fox and Hunter. Summon a noble creature, +5 will and 9 reflex. A dear wooden legend that tells the story of a hunter who spent days in the woods trying to find food for her family. In her first trap, she caught a boar. "Please, great hunter," the boar begged when she approached. "I am no ordinary boar. I am the ruler of my kind. If you free me, I'll reward you greatly." So the hunter freed the boar, who ran off laughing, never to be seen again. Her second trap caught a turkey. "Please, powerful hunter," the turkey said when she approached. "I am no ordinary turkey. I am the ruler of my kind. If you free me, you will get rewards such that you cannot imagine." So the hunter released the turkey, who also ran off laughing. The final trap held a fox. "Please, mighty hunter," the fox began. "I will not free you," said the hunter. "Already I have lost 2 wonderful meals. I will not lose a third. If you will truly reward me, then I will free you, but you must leave something of yours behind, so I know you'll return." So the fox left behind the length of its legs, enchanting the hunter's cape with its grace and reflexes. The fox returned to its kind, but was rejected for its short-legged appearance. "You look like a dog," her fellows taunted. No longer welcome amongst the kind, the fox returned to the hunter and offered another deal. She would aid the hunter in all the endeavors as payment for her life. This cloak represents the bargain between the fox and the hunter. Weathered and worn, this cloak is tan with light splotches. When pulled over the head, the corners look like erect dog ears. +5 will, +9 reflex. Well, we got more. Berserker belt. That sounds enticing. Lunacra Eret. +12 will and Whisper of Treason. This exquisite piece was crafted by the alchemist for a secret society of aristocrats in Old Valia. Throughout its history, it's graced the ocular orbits of scheming nobles, influential politicians, and charming salesmen. The dark brass monocle features intricate gear and leaf filigree along the rim. It confers sophistication and carries the unmistakable scent of old money. It's basically a monocle. Berserker belt. +20 frenzy duration. only usable by the barb. This belt was a product of a strange collaboration between the famed barbarian Strungbur and the Animancer of comparatively less fame. Strungbur was determined to extend the period in which he could cast himself into a fearless frenzy, for it was the means by which he survived most of his many battles. The Animancer, in turn, was much intrigued by the opportunity to investigate the affliction of temper. Over a period of time, the trigger of Sternberg's rage isolated, and the belt was imbued with a spell which mimicked the effect. The resulting damage done to the laboratory ensured that the pair never collaborated again, but Sternberg was very pleased with the belt he received. What belt is Lug-Lug wearing is the question. That's a fucking ring. He is not wearing shit, so he is getting that Barbarian's belt for sure. And do you want some Dex gloves, thief? Because I got them for you. Mr. Aloth, have +2 Dex, bud. Bringing you up to 17. Alright, now let's get that Berserker belt, because that's the tits. I don't know about buying the weapons. I'm going to hold off on that for now. I don't want to spend too much money. But Lug-Lug's certainly excited to get an extra 20% frenzy time. Greater frenzy now.
As you wish.
I'd say that was a good deal. We turned in that quest and got to buy some cool shit. Hopefully we can still do the nights now. For now, though, we're going to head back to Brackenbury. Completely didn't see that when I first left here. There are 2 ways there. How's our reputation holding up for Defiance Bay? Still a troublemaker. Let's head to the sanitarium. "14 hours for the main keep to be done." Day 25, hour 26. Half speed, double speed, pause. The voice from the past. According to Helig, Mordred keeps everything of value in the trunk in his laboratory. He's given me a key to open it. Yep, so Helig is the necromancer in the catacombs. Verna. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernat. Vivalian tragedy. Verna. You sense a strange divide in this woman's soul, an unnatural boundary between 2 opposed wills. You see the woman pausing by a roadside to hand something to the driver of a stopped wagon. These herbs should help with the party's sickness, she tells him. He can find more along the road, easy to spot with their serrated leaves, but avoid the ones with green berries. It's a different species, toxic. He thanks her and offers her a coin, but she waves him off, explaining that she is merely doing what her order has asked of her. He nods and she heads off down the road as he begins to hungrily consume the herb. You see the woman searching alongside the road now, the wagon just up the path, and you realize you have skipped backward in her memory. She sets eyes on a plant with serrated leaves and green berries. She picks several handfuls, tearing the berries off one by one and tossing them to the ground. She nudges them off the path into the brush quickly with her boot without looking down, as if to hide them from her own sight, before striding back toward the wagon, hands outstretched. Oh, she just poisoned that dude. What a bitch. What a bitch. Speak with the head warden, Ethelmore, if you wish to make an appointment with one of the Animancers. Head warden, Ethelmore. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down and blinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it, and you could sense from across the room. There's a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that brought you to my sanitarium? I'm looking for the Animancer named Mordred. Modred, of course. You'll find him downstairs in the first room on the right. I'm curious as to how you come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me, a lifetime spent in purest of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely, all that experience wasted. If you are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will help be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I've helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again one of our Animancers will humor me and consult over some problem. But they are just a jealous breed and are often too afraid to collaborate. If you're considering it yourself, I can tell you it isn't for the easily bored. Tell me about the sanitarium. It's one of my favorite Metallica songs. Wait, what? A history lesson? That's a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay has come with a host of its problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money back here then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion. In Animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost in the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of Animancy resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at hearing before the Duke, absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Vaemir may be swayed by all this unrest. Irrational though it may be, we shall see. This man's soul was torn asunder by a Biawak. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustments for the Well-Adjusted Soul. Free book. Need it for our book special. Grab them all. I must have missed one in the Gilded Vale. This painting of a rolling forest glen has a strangely soothing effect.
Good day to you.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ikosi! Here I am, looking so hard for my answers in my research that I do not see a kith standing in front of me. What can I do?
What do you do here?
According to my research, Grant, I study awakenings. Sublimating pre-awakened souls has been one of the Animancy's greatest successes, and I'm working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. She gnaws at her lip. But the truth is, I find very few suitable subjects here. Waidwin's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. I feel I'll return to Revua, with nothing to show for my efforts.
I'm awakened. I've been recalling flashes of a past life.
She scratches her chin. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. I need someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to manifest as alternate personas in the host. She gives you a broad smile, if strained. But I thank thee for the offer.
I'd like to know more about animancy.
It's a dynamic and respectable field. Even the Bale Reach incident did little to slow. She shrugs. People in the Republic are more accepting of the risk, less superstitious, ready to try anything that shows promise.
It's a shame so many here are so hostile towards it.
It is, but such is the way of the Deerwood. The people here are fierce about their sovereignty, and they are not so independent from their Ardean brothers and their grandfather and neighbors as they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the gods and fear the very advances they need.
Oh, hello, Mordred.
An animancer scribbles fervently on a parchment scroll with the free hand dancing through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Gods keep you.
Can I help you?
Does the name Helig mean anything to you?
Helig, is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he's involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunity in the Vailian Republics. He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. He coughs again. Perhaps you haven't.
I've heard it differently.
He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you, it's in very poor taste. Lug cracked his knuckles.
I insinuate nothing. Subtlety isn't my style.
Modred gapes at you. You wouldn't.
Quit wasting my time, Animancer.
Wait! Modred shoots you a baleful look. There's no need for that. I confess I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman, years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls, and for what? He flayed the essence of Glanfathan indigence for his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of these deeds, they'd be razed as placed to the ground. He jabs his finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, now you know the whole Grizzly story.
Helix said you stole a grimoire from him.
His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you?
I'm not in the mood for games, asshole. Hand it over.
I'm not a wizard, and I want nothing to do with his detestable research. What use would I have for it? If I knew Helig, this is his idea of a joke, probably not one or you I would appreciate. If anything I've told you about him is sunk in, I beg you, return to the catacombs and slay him once and for all. The foul man will cause misery and pain as long as he's around.
He said you kept it in that trunk over there.
Modred takes the key with trembling hand, his eyes darting to the trunk behind you. You've been misled. There's no grimoire here, and Helig never intended for you to find one. That wretched thing is an insatiable hunger for blood. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once for all.
I'll consider it.
Consider also the kind of man he is and the kind of things he's capable of. Don't trust him. I must return to my work. I wish you well.
You're not returning to shit! Give me my fucking key back!
In the corner of Modred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find a key. Seriously? That's bullshit. I just fucking killed the guy. He had my key. I'm calling bullshit.
Good day to you.
Do you know a woman named Ronya?
We're just gonna attack him outright.
Hardly brave stabbing a man in his sleep.
Brave enough for my taste. I heard a rumor he once laid a 50-man squad to rest on his own.
Helix soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge.
No doubt. But now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to.
He has something I need.
You consider a deal with that monster? He puts his head in his hands. If what I've told you hasn't swayed you, I doubt anything will. I must return to my work. I wish you well.
You ain't returning to shit!
You take the key you acquired from Halig and place it in the lock. It fits perfectly and turns with a solid clunk. The trunk holds no grimoires or treasures. Instead, you find yourself staring into the feral gaze of a toothy maw of a twisted, monstrous creature. Its humanoid form has been overwhelmed by bony angles and terrible claws. With the start, you recognize the vague shape of a young girl beneath the elongated, malformed bones and grayish skin. It crawls and leaps from the trunk, claws outstretched. The fuck is it? It was one of those little wicks. Yep. The necromancer, he tricked me.
Well?
It's pretty cool, though. Mordred's dead either way. I gotta quickly talk to this person again.
How do you do?
The edges of this cage are dented and scored with claw marks. Whoa! Oh no.
I have them!
That sucks. So now I'm wondering if I unleash this thing without killing him first, if it'll attack him. It leaps for the trunk, not towards you, but toward Modred. Modred has no time to scream before his throat is torn out. Now we're talking. See, I didn't kill him. Crazy little daughter did. Unexpected results. The canine host was listless and unresponsive, but it's determined that it was simply implemented feline soul. Yarn resulted in vigorous stimulation.
Yes.
Talk to this bitch for the third time. Hopefully we don't get attacked when we go
Greetings.
upstairs. Still gonna have to have a little
You
talk
must
with the
gather your
necromancer.
party before venturing forth.
That wasn't cool.
What is it? Welcome!
Just gotta get downstairs some other way through there. Alright, assassinate Eldred Winfield in the Crucible Keep. We're going to hold off on that one. Still need to go to Andra's Gift and Heritage Farms, or whatever that wheat bread is called. There's a cave where Firga's vision is taking place, built to last. Go to Andra's Gift for that one. We can return to the catacombs. We'll probably go turn this in. Sagani the dwarf, fuck her for now. Endless Pass, Endless Pass. Durance. And of course, Eder. Hell, let's go to the catacombs. I'm curious to see what Mr. Necromancer has to say about this. That pretty much wraps it up for what we can do here for now, I think. Again, we're going to need to bounce between the different regions to do our quest. As you can see, we are now returning to the catacombs in Copper Lane. You better give me some evil shit. I want a sword that drains life from people. I'm gonna go check on Homeboy too. They killed him. They killed the poor little bastard. Someone can wear those gloves. Rabbit fur gloves appeared in Adirian fables and bedtime stories for hundreds of years, typically as lucky gifts to individuals of particular virtue. The gloves were first mentioned in a bedtime story about a girl who in the midst of famine gave a piece of fruit to an elderly crone. The old woman in turn gave rabbit fur gloves to the girl, and though it was summer, she accepted them graciously. She wore them and managed to forage enough to feed her family, and a few short seasons later she became a hunter of uncanny skill. Plus 0.1 to crit damage multiplier. In other stories, the gloves are given to brave warriors, hard-working servants, and honest shopkeepers. The last story to mention the gloves is that of a notorious pickpocket, Sandrin, who lost them while he stole an apple from a wise old crone. Although the gloves appear to be sewn from fur of different rabbits, there is no detectable seam between the many-colored pelts. They're soft and cozy, yet when you put your hands in them, your fingers still feel quick and nimble. A rabbit's foot dangles from the left glove, and their natural warmth suggests the presence of the essence. Where's Homeboy's laboratory? Is this it? Yeah.
Did you find my grimoire? I opened Mordred's chest, if that's what you mean.
He places his hands on the table and leans forward you.
Tell me everything. The look on his face, the sound of his screams.
He closes his eyes and clasps his gnarled hands together.
I want to bask in every glorious detail. She tore him to pieces. I'm not sure which was louder, his agonized cries or cracking bones.
Helig bursts into laughter, spewing bilious fluid. He dances a halting, awkward caper before settling his mad eyes on you again.
I'd say you've enjoyed this as much as I have.
He removes his amulet and hands it to you.
But now, your real reward. You asked for Roinya, and here she is, small enough to carry with you.
He chuckles again.
She was a formidable warrior, and now her soul is a formidable talisman. It served me well these years, but I've moved on to bigger, better things.
He waves a hand at the text and runes on his table.
Now, like so many things, it passes to the next generation. Use it as you see fit, or give it to that miserable old sap Dalton.
He shrugs his bony shoulders and returns to his work. Whatever you decide,
our business is ended.
A soul prowls within the bloodstone like a caged Stelgar. It's filled with the fierce, restless energy.
Who are you?
You see an image in your mind of a woman in heavy leather armor bearing twin daggers. Next to her is a man, young and handsome, who calls her Roinya. The vision shifts to a windswept plain next to a lake. 50 men and women in matching leathers lay dead, their bodies contorted and deformed by some sinister sorcery. Roinya falls among them, her body collapsing next to the young man you saw earlier. She's too weak to speak, but the name Dalton appears in your mind. A lone figure strides across the battlefield, barely bothering to step over the corpses. His eyes are filled with an unnatural light and fixed on Roinya. He reaches out to her, and what little life remained in her body departs. When he takes the amulet from around her neck, you feel her anguished soul is trapped within it. With a final contemptuous glance at the fallen Dalton, the man departs.
Dalton sent me to find you, though.
The soul pulsates with warmth. It fills your mind with memories of a young man who is both bold and generous. But fury and despair gnaw those images away until all you can feel are cold crimson walls pressing against you and something loathsome feeding off you as the years fade into decades.
What do you want?
You see an image of the amulet shattering and the soul inside rising and dissipating amongst the stars.
That's not gonna happen, biatch. Your soul is mine now.
Where is it? Who stole my soul stone? Oh man, is it a fucking quest item? It sure is. Oh, but I can wear it. No? This brilliant bloodstone amulet has a strange aura about it. As you hold the gem, you think you hear a woman's voice. +5 will. Well, we should return to Dalton and tell him the bad news. I'm betting he's going to try to break the amulet and free her. But I bet you we got to finish the quest before they'll let us actually use it as an item. By the way, I hope you've enjoyed the mini marathon officially is coming to an end, although I do plan on still getting a few videos uploaded in the next couple days. Tomorrow, or rather later today, Friday is my game night. Saturday I spend with the female, but she's working in the morning, so I'll get some done then. Skin flute. Is Dalton also in the... Expedition Hall? I can't remember. I think he was right above me, actually. It's going to be quicker just to reload.
That's right. Between the... I don't think the house has known a single day's quiet. Of course, a little chaos makes it far easier to get away with mischief.
Yes, I can imagine that comes in handy.
Hail, traveler.
Helig bound her soul in this amulet. Since I found it, I'm keeping it.
His hands ball into a fist. His eyes blaze with fury. Monster! You know better than Helig. If I had the strength, I'd... Tears well up in his eyes.
Get away from me. I want nothing more to do with you.
So the solar amulet becomes our inventory. Unfortunately, we're losing popularity with Defiance Bay. But we did do some evil shit. We kept this bitch's soul trapped in this amulet. +5 will. This gives me +5 fortitude, reflex, and will. Now I should just sell this, because it's not that great. I'll keep her soul, carry it around with me, whatever. I'll summon her with his summoning things. Alright, where to now? I think we should head to... Audra's Gift. Audra's Gift, not Audra's. Stupid game hoarder, you can't even fucking read! Hopefully you guys are enjoying my narration. I do my best. It's really difficult reading out loud. and the amount that you're reading. Your eyes start to cross over. Not to mention, it's not like I'm reading this full blown. I'm recording this in a 1080p window so that it's smoother and I can get better frame rates. If I tried to record this game full screen with Bandicam, it would look like shit. Plan on upgrading my computer probably early 2020 with my tax return. I'd rather not do it right now just because I put quite a bit of money into the theater room. And I'd rather get that paid off before I build a $3,000 machine. But definitely interested in AMD's new chip. I'm hearing a lot of mixed, conflicted reviews on i9 versus AMD, but apparently the AMD processors are on par, if not better, in some aspects than the i9. Definitely getting like a 2070 Super and 32 gigs of some kick-ass RAM and a couple terabyte solid-state drives, all that goodies. But then I should be recording with power. Anyways, here we are, and Andra's gift. We have an abandoned house, Kofeg's house, that name rings a bell. Otta's house, the Salty Mast, we have interest there. Some more abandoned houses, Heritage Hill entrance, a ramshackle house, a lighthouse. Holy shit, alright. Shit, let's start right over here. I guess this place is kind of a shithole. The grimy windows have been papered over from inside. Drug addicts, wonderful. Do I lose
So much
reputation? Killing drug addicts? The question is, do I give a shit about my reputation anymore? Still just considered a troublemaker, but I guess I won't make it any worse if I don't have to. I think executing some drug addicts is a good thing, but... This is our place! Fuck, it is.
Hi? I wonder what this is.
Potion of infused with vital essence. Plus 50 max endurance, plus 50 health. Oh man, too bad it's not permanent. We'll take their secret and leave them be. I mean, I almost feel like I'd be a good guy killing them. What's our quest we have with this guy? If I can find it. Oh yeah. From our domino. The young elvish man squints at you in surprise. You just can't barge into someone's home like this. Who do you think you are?
I'm a friend of Bricata Domino.
He takes a step back. Now, just wait a minute. I'm staying clear of the dominoes, you understand? Surely we can put this behind us.
The Dominoes don't exactly value forgiveness. Neither do I. Taking your shit.
Bug looks thirsty after battle. You can't just drink it. You gotta use it like an item. Damn it, I will drink beer now. The knob on the underside suggests the table was fashioned from a derelict door. The slightest pressure causes it to wobble atop the barrels.
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
Dodwina. As you enter the room, you see several figures huddled together. They stand at attention armed, but not in matched gear like the Crucible Knights. At the center of the group, one woman looms over another, holding a flail. She snarls at the cowering figure.
You've got pages of research here. You expect me to believe this was just your scratch work?
It's nothing. I promise. It's just my notes. You hear a painful smack as the woman backhands her captive.
We know you're meeting with the Crucible Knights. You think they're the only ones with power in this city? They call us the Dozens for a reason. Now I won't ask you again.
Oh, it's the Dozens. I thought it was my people. These guys are really prickish, huh? At a nudge from one of them, her men, the woman turns and sees you watching.
You shouldn't be here. What's going on here?
She tightens her grip on her flail.
Nothing you need to know about.
What the hell? This bitch is gonna attack me with an antelope companion? How dare you? Yeah, I'm attacking these guys, even though they're kind of being mean and beating this bitch up. These Dozens, these are pieces of shit. And besides, I'm gonna get some reward out of this. I'm not sure how strong these guys are, but I can't imagine it's too strong. Where the hell is Aloth? Had to shit my pants. Vienna's face is covered in bruises, her eyes wide with shock and relief. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Rapid hitching breaths punctuate her words. I was sure they were going to kill me. She wipes a tear from her cheek, wincing as her knuckles graze the bruise.
What just happened here?
I thought I was coming here to meet my friend from the Republics. Looks like I walked into a trap. She shakes her head. The dozens must have been watching me for a while. I've been working on a special project for the Crucible Knights. They weren't exactly subtle about contacting me.
About this project?
It deals with a rather rare bunch of animancy, no offense, but I probably shouldn't get too specific without Commander Cleaver's permission. He commissioned it after all. And you can see the trouble a little indiscretion has gotten me into.
Tell me about yourself, sweet tits.
I studied animancy in Ozia, back in the Valian Republics. I came here to Defiance Bay to research local advances, but instead of going to Brackenbury Sanitarium, I found a position as a scrivener at the Temple of Whale. I've had access to many rare manuscripts that most animancers have never seen. She shrugs. Of course, I've had to keep my head down. I've been careful not to let the head librarian or my colleagues know what I'm working on.
Let's get out of here.
She nods on a split lip. Commander Cleaver of the Crucible Knights is waiting on my research. Not that you haven't already done a lot for me, but maybe you could take it to him. I've kept it with me to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, but you can see how well that worked out. She nods down at Dodwinnie's corpse. She took it from me when I arrived. She takes a deep breath. Anyhow, don't wait on me. I can make it on my own. The research on the Egwithian techniques for imbuing matter with essence. She appears to have developed a method based on her studies of animats. On the first page is a note to someone named Dunstan. Aru Bricker. Unique heavy armor. +1 move speed, +10 deflection against ranged attacks. DR10, recovery speed -50. This robust brigandine has been repeatedly reinforced by the Adrian adventurer who once owned it. Thickly padded, the armor was dubbed Arrowbreaker. It served the adventurer well until her fame and fortune made her grow complacent and she allowed an opponent to get too close. While Arrowbreaker protected her from projectiles, it didn't provide the same protection against a mace to the side of the head. This could be good lug armor. Alright, I think this is a good spot to be in. We can go return to the Crucible. Dude. Hammer and chisel, fuck yeah. And finish his little quest, and then we can turn on both of them, the Dozen and the Crucible Knights.
What is it?
Fuck them all from here on out. What's up, Glug? You want that brigandine? DR12. This is only DR10. +2 damage reduction. Oh yeah, I still got some good stuff on, man. Fine brigandine. helps against ranged attacks. That's nice. If the DR was better, it'd be better. The movement speed is kind of cool too. Can help my guy get to the enemy or get away from the enemy faster. If only the damage reduction was better. Because since this is 12. Well, maybe this +2 is already added into it. That's why it's 12. Let's see. Yeah. Goes from 2 to 14. So that takes it down to 12. It is pretty pimpalicious. Actually, I kind of look like oh no. Look like a jester. Look like Ronald McDonald. The deflection against ranged attacks is huge. Especially before being a frontliner. So we'd be getting a movement speed and getting +10 deflection against ranged attacks. But we'd be losing 2 damage reduction. Is that it? Yeah, pretty much. I think Lug Lug's gonna get it.
As you wish.
Alright, warped us back here to the Crucible Keep. Let's see how this goes over.
I suppose Cleaver's sent you down here to get me working on those Forge Nights, eh?
I think this is what you were looking
That's
for.
what Cleaver's been looking for anyway. If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
You don't sound too happy about it.
I'm not. I made it clear to Cleaver this is a mistake. Trying to harness souls like this is a crime against the gods, and it's bound to earn us some more trouble than it saves. But Cleaver's given me his orders, so I've got to build these things as best as I can. Anyway, Cleaver told me I'm to sell you any arms or armor you might want. You won't find any better anywhere in Defiance Bay, I can promise you that.
Time to see if that Valian was worth all that blood and copper. I'll be damned. To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well. Back to it. Cleaver will want me to finish the rest of them. And it sounded like he has a job for you, too.
Yeah, but I don't want to join you permanently. Just realized I might not be able to forge that sword, because once these guys turn on me, I don't know if I'll be allowed in here. The White Spire. Unique S-Talk two-handed sword. 14 to 20 damage, piercing accuracy versus deflection, 5 damage reduction bypass, inflicts disoriented, grants blizzard, 3 per rest. The White Spire was found among the possessions of a member of the Order of Bleak Walkers, though it seems to have predated her. The spiraling engravings on the blade are flanked by small, finely etched symbols of binding enchantment, which might be credited with the permanent chill of metal and the thin dusting of frost upon the Estoc's hilt. Wow. All kinds of stuff. We'll have to check out more later because it's 4 a.m. and I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching Pillars of Eternity. We'll see you soon.